Okay, this is test number 4. And which of the following expression is equal to 0 for some value of x? Okay, let's set up to equal to 0 for each of them. First one, absolute value x minus 1 equal to 0. First step you need to solve is you add 1 on both sides. So absolute value x minus 1 equal to 1. If you have an absolute value equal to 1, then you can set up two inequality, which is x minus 1 equal to positive 1, x minus 1 equal to negative 1. So as long as you have a right side is as a greater than 0 or equal to 0, if it's a positive number, you can set up two equation, and if it's a 0, then you can set up one equation, so you have a solution. But the rest of them, if I set up one of those things, which is absolute value x plus 1 equal to 0, first step you should do is you subtract 1 from both sides, then you will have an absolute value x plus 1 to be negative 1. You cannot have absolute value to be a negative 1. So this kind of question is asking about absolute value can be a negative or positive. That's the question. So you remember whenever absolute value related problem comes, remember setting up the whatever they want. For this case, you set up equal to 0 and try to solve it and see the condition is okay. That's what you need to focus. So this one is the answer, possible. And then next one. Ken and Paul each ordered a sandwich at a restaurant. The price of Ken's sandwich was X dollars, and the price of Paul's sandwich was one more than the price of Ken's sandwich. And if Ken and Paul split the cost of a sandwich evenly and each paid 20% tip, which of the following expression represent the amount in dollars each of them paid? So Ken will pay X dollars for his sandwich price, and then Paul was the price of $1 more than price of Ken's, which is X plus 1. And Ken and Paul split the cost evenly. To split the cost evenly, you have to know what is the total cost. So total cost will be 2x plus 1, and they will split evenly, so then you divide by half. You multiply by 1/2, divide by 2. So this is the cost of each Ken and Paul will pay. So if I distribute the 1/2 on both, then you will get x plus 1/2. This is the price of the sandwich each Ken and Paul will pay, and they're going to pay 20% tip to there. If you just pay this one itself, it's just one whole price you're paying. But if you're paying either tax or tip, you're adding that percentage to the original price you're paying. So you have to add that percentage to the original one. So either 100%, which is a plus 20% tip, or whatever the tax percent. So total 120% of the price he has to pay. So I will say paying a tip 20% added, that means 120% as a decimal, 1.2 of the price of sandwich he has to pay. Then distribute the 1.2 to each term, 1.2x plus 1/2 to the, what is 1/2 over 1.2? Which is a 0.6. So 1.2x plus 0.6 will be the expression for the amount of dollars each will pay. And then this one, x squared minus k over 2x equal to 2p. And then what are the solutions for x? When you see this one, you will know that you use quadratic formula. Okay, so quadratic function, quadratic equation, you have to know a lot of formulas from there, which is finding vertex formula or finding the zeros. All those things you should know. And finding zeros, you can do factoring, you can do completing the square. But for this one, you have to use quadratic formula. So if you have a ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 quadratic equation, to find the x zeros, you can use a quadratic formula. Remember quadratic formula, negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So first we need to express this one to the standard form, which we call this one as a standard form of the quadratic form. So I will change this given equation to the standard form, which is x squared minus k over 2x minus 2p equal to 0. Move everything to one side equal to 0. That's a standard form. When I see I have a k over 2, which is a fraction, I can see if you have a fraction as one of the coefficient, it will be hard to express as a quadratic formula. So I will say I strongly recommend everything changing to the no fraction, no decimal. So to do that, you need to multiply by 2. So rewrite standard form 2x squared minus kx minus 4p equal to 0. I will change the colors in the way you know which one is which. A value from here will be 2 and b will be x terms coefficient, which is a negative k, and c will be the whole thing, negative 4p. Some students are picking only negative 4. That's not correct. You have to express everything will be c. And I'm using a quadratic formula to solve it. So negative b as a negative k plus minus root b squared, which is a negative k squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now I have to simplify. Negative negative become a positive k plus minus root. Negative k squared will be k squared. Negative with a negative multiplied together become a plus 4 times 2 times 4 together will be 32p all over 2a. These parts in the place of a, you have to replace with 2 times of 2, which is a 4. So which one has 4 over 4 k plus minus square root to k squared plus 32p over 4? I can see the answer as a b.